We're
You
open
know who
for
I'd like to be sponsored by?
Who?
Jeff Goldblum.
The pill.
Yeah, okay. Why do you want to be sponsored by the pill if you're not on the pill?
Huh?
Why do you want to be sponsored by it then?
So I can be on the pill. I don't know.
Yeah, Seb, who would you be sponsored by if you could be sponsored by someone? Or an entity?
I want to choose the right answer. Come back to me.
No. First thought, best thought, buddy.
Kit Kat.
My first thought was Onken.
Onken.
The yogurt.
If you were sponsored by a dairy company, you would be shitting your pants 24/7.
Yeah, I'd be dead, man.
Yeah, and I'd have hormones through the roof.
So that's a bad choice.
Well, yeah, but that's why I wanted to. That's why I said come back to me.
Okay, second thought, best thought.
Dyson.
Cool, this is clearly going nowhere.
Welcome to Forever in Bloom. It's an investigation, celebration, and exploration of Jeff Goldblum's cinematic career. I'm Seb.
I'm Liam.
Beth.
And
Do that
today,
again? I always do it.
That was fine.
Why do you guys say it really naturally and then I say it
hold on, we'll
really
just hold on.
weirdly?
I'm Seb.
I'm Liam.
And I'm Liam. I'm Beth.
This week we are...
Thank
doing-
God it's Friday.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday.
It's actually Tuesday.
1978, I believe we're at
Yep.
now. Jeff plays someone called Tony. I haven't written down his last name. I know it starts with a D. Like DeMario, DeMartio.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's any of
Or
those.
something.
No, you're... Nope.
No, I don't think it's any of those.
I just
No, it literally
opened
is.
up my my Wikipedia because I thought I was on Thank God It's Friday and it's just come up with gammon.
Why were you looking at Gammon?
I don't know.
Awesome.
Um,
Don't worry, I'll get the name.
Tony DeMarco.
Okay,
DeMarco.
yeah, you're close enough.
Yeah, fuck you, Seb. So, Tony DeMarco. He is the owner of the Zoo nightclub, I guess.
Which was a real nightclub, but I don't think it was called the Zoo.
No, it wasn't.
But they shot it in a real nightclub,
And
not surprisingly.
this film was essentially just a Friday night in this club where there's a dance contest going on.
I have a feeling the whole film, it's about an hour and a half in length, and I feel like it maybe only covers like an hour and a half to 2 hours in real time in the film.
Yeah,
It's like pretty,
fairly real time.
yeah, relatively.
It's pretty real, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's basically real time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I don't think there's any real time shift or time jump.
No, yeah, you're right.
Because there's so many stories going on.
There is a lot of stories. It's like it's another sort of ensemble movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's so many different
We've had a
characters
lot
about.
of these ensemble movies.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if it's a product of the time or just what Jeff liked at the time, but he's in a lot of these. But he's taken a bit of a back step this film and gone back a bit more of a greaseball, isn't
He
he?
has.
Yeah.
He yes.
Can we do this one a bit out of sync? And I just want to ask you, how much he was in this film?
Probably not as much as you think.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. That it's probably going to be like, where does it stack up to others? Because even though he's like, I guess an important character because he's the owner of the nightclub, but it didn't feel like you saw that much of him.
He's actually only in this film for 9 minutes and 52 seconds.
Is that more than most?
Let me
I feel like
refer to my materials.
it never reflects how much I think he was in it. So I've kind of given up caring.
So he was.
Because I always guess and I'm always miles away.
He was in it. He was in
9
between
minutes.
the lines for 22 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
I feel like his role in this film is just one big build-up to the car gag.
Yeah, and I saw that coming from the beginning. It's such a great gag.
It's perfect.
Because you saw that he obviously is really delicate with his car in the beginning and is super happy with it, and you see one person knock it straight away. And I was like, cool, everyone is going to be hitting this fucking car. And
one person knocks the car at the start.
Yeah,
right
at the beginning,
away.
and then you see everyone
Yeah.
like hitting it over and over again
Yeah.
throughout the movie. Pretty much everyone that arrives.
Yeah,
hits
and I
that
mean,
car.
it's
Yeah,
just
that's true, actually.
such a nice touch that he like I've actually in real life never seen someone use one of these car cover things.
No,
Like,
it's an American thing, isn't it?
Is it an American thing? Is that what it is?
So.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why, though, because we have extreme weather over here.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is it protecting the car from? Just kind of, like shit?
Scratches and other things, I guess.
Scratches and
I have a lot
shits.
of bird shit on my car right now, so I should get that sorted. But
I feel like it's a British thing to just comfortably drive around with your car covered in bird shit.
Yeah.
I feel like they wash it off in America. They're always washing
You're
cars.
supposed to, because like it does. If you leave it on there too long, it like fucks with the paint and corrodes the paint.
Oh really?
Yeah, they've got some venomous shit.
Oh, nasty.
Might be British pigeons though, because they're pretty nasty, mate.
But was his I need to clarify. Was the gag with his car? So his car basically just completely deflates at the end.
Just collapses. Yeah, all the bits fall off.
Is the idea that it's not a real car, or is it that it just?
No, it's that he is so precious about it, and the thing he's fighting over this woman with with her husband, isn't he? Mm. And then he just like barely touches the car, and he freaks out, and it's just like, "Cool, I give up. You're gonna dent it." Not knowing that his car is absolutely fucked by everyone that's around.
Oh, that's what happened. Film. Okay.
Yeah. It's a very long gag.
It's a super long gag, isn't it? I feel like someone thought of that gag and then thought, I need to write a film.
Yeah.
That supports
to justify
gag.
this.
That's
gag.
where the script started, and it just built out from there. He has a pretty strong line, like in the first scene he's in when he's in the lift, and there's that guy dressed as an ape who has his head off, and he says,
I pay you to look like a monkey and run the elevator, not one or the other.
And he makes him put the head back on to
guy,
operate the elevator.
that poor guy looks so fucked off, doesn't he? That's the shittest job.
I want to hop back to his car quickly. Did either of you catch what his license plate was?
Badass?
Big one.
Big one.
Big one.
Big one. Which I just thought was really nice. I also want to point out that at the very beginning of this film, there are the two young girls who are like 17 or 18 or whatever, trying to sneak into the club. Them getting into the car when she's picking up like a burger or something is the worst ADR I have ever seen in a film.
There's some real bad ADR in this film.
Yeah, it's really rough. Like, their heads are not moving and there are voices happening.
I noticed that.
Yeah, there's a lot of that over.
I found the sound design in general.
The editing and the sound was all over the place. The soundtrack was awesome.
Yeah, soundtrack went pop off.
Yeah.
I mean, it had.
That's what the film is about.
Yeah, it had the Commodores and it had Donna Summer who was playing Nicole Sims.
Nicole Sims.
Yeah.
But I felt like they relied too much on the banging soundtrack, and that the film was essentially selling the album that got released with the film.
For sure, because that is the best part of it.
Yeah,
and the song that Donna Summer sang, the Last Dance song.
Last Dance.
That went like #1 and did really, really well. In the
it must
charts
have made her. Must have been what made her career take off.
I think it's the only film she's ever done in like a fictitious role.
Oh really?
I think she's been in other things as cameos as Donna Summer or other things like that, but she hasn't.
Interesting. I don't think she was that good.
It's selling the album, I think. Like you said, I think it's kind of a cameo for her because she did the soundtrack, because the whole Thank God It's Friday song at the start has her in, I think, as well.
But that's an interesting way of doing it, thinking like, oh, we want to support these musicians at the start of their career and like help them reach #1, but we'll just produce this very average film.
But
to
this
kind
is
of
1978. I think this will probably be cashing on like the budding heights, the budding career of her. But I think she's probably late 70s. Donna Summer's in the prime, I think. So it's probably cashing out on that, kind of like how the Rat Pack and Frank Sinatra did a bunch of films like The Italian Job and Peter Pan and all these sort of things, just to cash out on them being really popular at that time. I think it's probably something similar to that. Just thinking we can make a bunch of money off of a soundtrack and a film.
And disco was massively popular.
Yeah, and I guess I don't know if Jeff had anything to play with that because he was starting his career up or not. But
yeah, I do have to think that this film was probably better received then than from us now.
Yeah, because there's so many creeps in this film.
The majority of the characters in this film suck.
Yeah, all the men especially are awful in this.
Awful.
And I think that would be better received.
But also,
because it's kind of playing on that like rhetoric of.
I know people who, when they were younger in that period of time, tried to sneak into clubs and discos and competitions and things like that. I think this is probably quite a relatable story 50 years ago. Yeah. 40 years ago, whatever the maths are.
No, that definitely makes sense. I put the two characters that I really hated. One was Dave, the guy that was like the husband.
The husband, he sucked shit.
He then got fucking spiked basically and started.
Yeah, I think they allude to him taking coke and acid, from what I can gather.
That seems.
He was just a bit of a dickhead. He was just most of his dialogue before he was tripping was just all misogyny and like weird possessiveness over his wife. Like,
yeah, very.
how she was screaming at him, "Those are my tits, Dave," and he's like, "We're married. They're our tits."
I actually have an early note of mine is this husband sucks absolute shit.
Yeah, that's Dave. Gus also sucks. Who's the dude that's there to meet
Shirley.
Shirley, like the blind date thing on the thing, gets pissed off at every woman he meets because he's too small.
That whole storyline is just bizarre. That man. So he's supposed to be like a little bit short.
Yeah.
And he has a blind date, and he meets up with this woman who happens to be a bit taller than him, and he just goes mental.
Yeah.
And his whole argument is that I'm working class, I'm a bin man, I
Yeah.
slave away, and I deserve to have a good date at the end of the week.
Well,
and
he said he also doesn't want to have to be, because she asked why he's an asshole basically, and he says,
Yeah.
"I work really hard a week. I don't have the energy to be nice to people at the end of the week."
yeah.
And well, it's just like the contrast of he is supposed to be like a dumb, but like an uneducated dude, and then she's like a very educated woman, and he's very short and she's very tall. But she does fucking clock him at the end of this
Oh
movie,
yeah,
which is
absolutely
great,
lays him out.
because she calls her like an old woman or something, like an old hag, and then she buoys him off and says,
An old maid with a great right hook, you bastard!
and that's beautiful.
And then suddenly he's into her again.
Yeah.
And he like chases after her.
Yeah.
And that's the last we see of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He then leaves the film at that point.
I
Completely,
thought
yeah.
he talked like he was doing the voice acting for a cartoon dog who's also a detective.
I've been working all week. This is the voice.
Can either of you two pull his catchphrase right now?
You bet your sweet ass!
You bet your sweet ass you're sorry.
He says it like 3 times.
You bet your sweet ass.
I
You.
wrote him down as the you bet your sweet ass man.
Yeah.
My favourite character in this, sadly, isn't Jeff.
Who?
I think I know who it is.
It's Marv Gomez.
Marv Gomez.
The guy that won the dance competition in the full
Oh, the leather
leather.
man.
He's fucking amazing.
I'm Marv Gomez,
Yeah.
the Leatherman.
Because he has his whole
Yeah.
dancing monologue about how dancing is life and it's everything. And he actually has a catchphrase which he only says twice, but it's dancing, everything else is bullshit. Which I fucking love, especially when he does this like whole dance routine, diving and like flipping over people's cars.
let me set this scene because it's incredible. This young man who has not really been enjoying himself all evening. He's a bit plays a bit straight. He comes out of the disco. He thinks he's heading home, and Marv Gomez, the Leatherman, is just leaning up against his incredible truck.
Flames all
That's
over it,
black
like Guy
with
Fieri.
like the flame decals.
Does he stay dancing the whole film? I'm pretty sure I can't remember a scene where he's not dancing.
I
So
would say he's dancing more than he isn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The beginning of this scene, he's just leaning back against his truck, smoking a joint.
Hmm.
And the guy comes over. He's like, "Oh, you want any of that?" Referring
We
to
don't
his...
need the accent. You
Okay.
can just-
So I do
They're
think...
not going to understand.
Yeah,
what
I think
you're
his
doing.
accent is fake because I think the first time he speaks in the film, he doesn't have an accent.
What is his accent trying to be?
I think...
just generic, like Eastern Bloc of Europe, I think.
Yeah.
Generic European
Yeah.
person.
I wondered whether he... Because of the Gomez, I wondered whether it was going to be a Mexican
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that's a
That
good
makes
point,
more
actually.
sense to me.
Yeah.
But essentially, he offers this guy a joint and starts talking about how he changed his life
It's a great little monologue, isn't
Yeah.
it?
just by dancing and wearing leather,
Yeah.
which is just such a pure thing to me.
He's got that like wearing really tight like tan leather
Yeah.
trousers and jacket, isn't he?
And like, I think a piece of advice I took from this film is that if a dude with the cowboy hat smoking a joint in a truck with a fire decal says he's going to change your life, believe him.
Yeah, fucking listen to that man.
Yeah.
Because then he starts doing the mad dance routine, flipping all over these cars and
Yeah.
Yeah.
jumping across all the roofs. And then his last like dive, he dives into like a soft top car without knowing,
Just
and
completely
crashes
goes
through the whole
through.
thing, and then just jumps up and goes.
Dancing! Everything else is bullshit!
It's absolutely beautiful.
And
He's
he
just like slightly out of breath for the entire film.
yeah.
he does give that young man a leather jacket as well, his first ever leather jacket.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
then-
and that actually does well for him later
It
on,
does,
doesn't it?
It does indeed.
Because he feels really confident about that, and then he meets that girl right at the end of the film by nearly falling off the balcony.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I guess let's sort
Yeah.
of break down like the groups of the people that are in this. You've got the two younger guys that are just desperately trying to find some action out on a night, find some love. You've got the two like 17 underage girls that are trying to break in
for the dance
for
competition.
the dance competition, who get snuck in by Marv Gomez.
And end up winning the competition with Marv Gomez.
Yeah,
And they win £50.
500, I think.
Yeah,
Was
it's
it?
it's $500.
Yeah,
the
and then he
end.
gives them 55.
Yeah, that's what fucked me off. Why did
Yeah.
he take all of it? Or most of it?
I mean, he was the reason they were in there.
Oh, very true.
And they were super happy with that because then they can afford to go to the Kiss concert.
Oh,
But Liam, remember, that concert's for kids. They're dancing queens now.
Disco queens.
Disco
Queens.
queens,
They are
sorry.
disco queens.
Did they not go to the Kiss concert? Because
No, it's not supposed to be that night, I think. It's like, we've got to pay my brother back for the Kiss concert.
it
kind
felt
of
like an
thing.
anticlimax. I wanted it to be like at the end of Wayne's World, where they like meet Alice
Yeah.
Cooper and realise he's really boring. I wanted them
Yeah.
to like get behind the stage of
No, it was
Kiss.
more... Well, they were supposed to be back and they were back late, and then they decided to screw that and just go to the next dance contest like
I think
somewhere else.
I
didn't they?
liked it out overall that they the film overall presented all of the characters in very simply like the start of their journey,
Yeah.
what their aims were, and then what they got, and
Yeah.
then how what they got satisfied what they wanted originally, even
Yeah.
if it wasn't. I know that's like the most basic
No,
like,
I know what you mean.
character-driven narrative, but I just liked how it was so simple in that sense.
For sure. It's, and then, yeah, because the other people are in there with the married couple, which was Dave, and I can't remember her name. Sue.
Sue.
You have
Susan.
Jeff, who's Tony, the manager of the bar.
Yeah.
He's the owner of the nightclub. You have
Yeah.
Bobby Speed,
Bobby Speed, the DJ.
who is the DJ, and then you have Nicola Sims, who plays...
Nicole Sims.
No, that's the character's name. Donna Summer plays her. She's like trying to get her big break by letting her sing on stage, isn't she?
Yeah.
Trying to get to be on stage at the club. And then you
Yeah.
have the whole B plot of the Commodores are the ones that perform for the dance contest, and they can't start the dance contest till the Commodores arrive, and that guy Malcolm Floyd has got to
Honestly,
bring all the instruments.
Floyd is my favourite thing about one of my favourite things about this
the
film.
bit that every time he heard on the radio, he had to like speed up, and then he'd immediately get pulled over by the police, thinking he's stealing all their instruments, and then he would have to just play the instruments to prove that they're his.
You're on a long haul, like driving across states to deliver instruments to the Commodores for a show they're playing that evening, and your way of getting out of it every time the cops pull you over is to get the drum kit and the saxophones out and just start shredding. I love
So
it.
good.
And the scene where he just has about 50 cars all around him and he's just playing
Yeah.
the drums.
Yeah.
Just everyone's clapping along.
And the actual sound of playing the drums are fucking awful.
Awful, absolute garbage.
There's nothing in it.
One of my other favourite tiny things of Floyd in this film is there's a point where he's being told, he's got to get, he's being told on the radio, oh, this goes out to my friend Floyd who's got to do whatever.
Yeah.
The song that's playing at that point is, I think I've got the lyrics here. Oh, maybe I don't, maybe I forgot to write it down. Oh yeah, it's a song called Finding My Way, and it literally is just singing the refrain, Finding My Way. And it's like a cut from Floyd's face in the car, to just like the craziest set of signs I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah. Like, it was like sort of 20, 30 signs.
Yeah,
all
just
in
all
one,
pointing in
like,
different
cross-section.
directions, and just, it's the tiniest gag, but that actually, I really liked that.
So yeah, okay, let's go for True Bloom. I gave
Okay,
it 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 4.
I gave it also a 4.
Okay.
I feel like, although I feel like Jeff was
I want to go back
told,
to and put a 5 on that.
he
instead.
was, I feel like he was told to restrain himself for this film.
Yeah.
This is the most like
The-
blank role.
But
It's
he
we've
was-
very
seen him in.
deadpan, but it made
Greasy.
the car seem... it made the car scene funnier because
Yeah.
he was so deadpan. And it was almost like he didn't even care. He wasn't so unfazed by it.
It was like, not to step on Seb's Bloomiverse toes or anything.
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
he was a bit more like that Snake character
Yeah.
from Special Delivery, where he was just a bit like slimier, and everything he said was just to try, and he had like a motive and was a bit,
Yeah.
because he was just trying to steal this dude's wife, basically. Wasn't
Yeah.
he? He was trying to steal Sue
Yeah,
away
he's-
from Dave.
He's also dipping the toes in the Bloomverse. I've written that he matured from a street rapist to a wife stealer. Also, this is like plunging in now. He mentions he's done with
Yeah.
Hustling Records.
Yeah.
Does he?
To radio
Yeah.
I
stations.
didn't catch that.
So he said he's done with Hustling Records to and from AM radio stations.
Wow.
But how
Also,
amazing is that?
I read on the IMDb trivia, so this will probably come up at another point, because I don't know when this film comes in.
Okay.
But in another film, he mentions as a character, like apparently offhandedly, that he is thinking about buying a nightclub.
Interesting.
And he's always wanted to buy a nightclub.
In which film?
We haven't seen it yet. I just saw it on the trivia for this film on IMDb, mentioned it in another film. Jeff's character mentions he wanted to buy a nightclub.
Because we've been going pretty linear so far. I don't think we've had any back and forth.
No, we've had some back and forth.
Have we?
Yeah. Yeah, this hasn't been completely linear.
No.
I think this is definitely... So I think... So... Let's get into it. We're here.
Yeah, let's get into the
We're here. We've opened the can of worms. We're going to lie in it. This is what's up. So, we know, because we watched Between the Lines relatively recently, that he spent a lot of time as a rock reviewer, as a music reviewer for a paper. We also know that he knew about the whole bootleg record industry.
Yep.
I think, with what happened in Between the Lines is that the newspaper that he worked for, the Mainline? Mainline.
Yeah, the Mainline.
I think when that changed hands and it all, went to shit at the end of the film, I think he ended up leaving that and starting his own bootleg distribution network for a little while.
Yeah, sure.
When he was just like, as he said, hustling records to radio stations.
What would he call it?
Come back to me on that one. Probably Jazzy Jeff. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think with the money he earned from that, he bought a nightclub.
Sure.
But I think that power that he has here has made him remember his dark past, and some of his horrible old habits are coming back to the surface.
You think maybe when his car gets destroyed, it's like a turning point for him about how materialistic he's become.
Yeah.
And he then tries to make more of an honest living.
And I think that's when he then goes to Nashville.
Oh, Nashville.
When he plays out his biker life, just trying to help the town.
And then becomes Clyde Baxter. So I think this is... It's hard to work out exactly where in the timeline this fits in. You need to put this timeline. You need to get a visual for this.
aid because I'm not getting.
I'll put the proper timeline together.
Yeah, we can put it up on our website, put it on the Twitter and everything, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
And people can reference that whenever they need, along with the table or where all the films are.
We should make a disclaimer that we advise that everyone has the visual timeline in sight.
It's always going to be there for reference. We'll update it after every episode.
Yeah.
So
I'll keep up on that.
We need to go on that.
I think that the car deflating was.
Why are you using the word deflating?
I don't know.
Cars don't deflate.
It kind of deflated. It just kind of because
But
it
it's
had
just,
that white
fell
sheet
off.
on top.
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
It's like a metaphor for how he's realizing that his shitty half-baked approach of securing women on the surface level and then not persisting with the relationship is going to fail him eventually.
Wow. That's deep, Beth.
Yeah.
I also want to point out in that car deflation scene, the husband, Dave, he hits the car. Jeff says, "You'll put a ding in it." And the guy says, "I'll put a ding in your dong."
Does he say that?
Yeah. The exact wording is...
You put a ding in it.
I'll put a thing in your tongue. That's what I'll put a thing in.
That's incredible.
That Dave is definitely suppressing something because he also buys his wife the most phallic pepper grinder.
Oh, yeah.
Puts a bow on it.
That's a big wood dick.
He even says, he's like, "I just couldn't think of what to get you for wood." And then he's like, "A baseball bat or a pepper grinder?"
Nice imagination, Dave. Craft, I gave this 4 out of 10.
I have done
Because
so.
I said, although the soundtrack slams, the sound in general is all over
I
the
gave it a
place.
4. The best bit was when they were having a conversation at the table, and everyone else at the table, so they're supposed to be in the hottest nightclub in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
At the peak of disco.
Friday night, yeah.
Discotheque.
Dance
And they're in the hottest
competition.
discotheque, and they're talking at a normal conversation level, and everyone is dancing around them, but they can just hear themselves having this
It's like
conversation.
that in the DJ booth with Bobby Speed as well. Somehow, there are these weird glass screens up, but they're nothing that would do anything for sound. And in his area, he's just having conversations on speaker and just chatting to people, and there's just no music in his DJ booth, even though he's the one playing all the music.
It's really strange.
What did you say you gave this, Seth?
4.
Four.
I feel like it's shot badly.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just not exciting at all.
The main life of this movie comes from like a couple of like funny characters
Yeah.
and the music. Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I actually put enjoyability at 6.5.
Okay.
6.5. That's
Yeah.
high for you, I would have thought. Did you enjoy this?
I kind of enjoyed this. I think there was, I mean, take away all of the misogyny and creepiness in this movie. I think it's just fucking Marv Gomez.
Yeah, Marv
really
Gomez,
kept me
man.
going throughout this movie every time he was on screen. And there were just some like nice little moments and kind of funny jokes that kept me going.
I have a surprising number of quotes from this film
Yeah,
that have made me laugh the more I think about them.
fire away, my dude.
So there's an ongoing thing about what material people's clothes are made of.
Yeah, if you're a
Polyester.
polyester in a nightclub, you're a pervert. Or
Yes,
something.
which is incredible. Also, there's a guy who approaches. I've forgotten the woman's name. She's the one who's on her own for most of it. She doesn't really want to be there.
Yeah, that's the guy that she falls in love with the dude that gets given the
Yes.
leather jacket later. on.
There's a guy that approaches her at one point and, unprompted, says, "What do you say we go back to my place and see God?"
Yeah.
I'd be sold if someone said that to me.
Okay, so yeah, I gave it 6.5. What did you guys give it?
6.
6. Beth?
5.
5.
Yes.
Cool.
One final thing that Bobby Speed says, it's one of the last lines of the film, is,
Keep them feet moving, or somebody will steal your shoes.
and
That's great.
I liked
I
that.
really like that.
I liked that.
So for No More Jeff, the film kind of wouldn't have existed because there wouldn't be that nightclub there. But on a much less boring and more meta level, I don't think Dave and Sue's Sue's marriage would have still existed without Jeff.
Yeah.
Because they both went off on their separate excursions
Own
with
little
different people
adventures.
in that club to kind of get back at each other. And then by the end, because of that whole thing where they fought over her, they were happy and she was like, you can come and take advantage of me at home because I'm drunk.
Yeah, that's a weird thing, right?
Yeah, that's a whole thing with
Whole
those
separate
two.
issue.
But they kind of make up by the end. But I think without that interaction and those two going off on each other, which is sparked by Jeff's character coming over and trying to dance with her, they probably would have broken up that night and had a divorce.
Yeah,
And I
their
think that
marriage wouldn't have
him-
been invigorated.
Yeah,
as it
him
was.
existing has saved their marriage.
Yeah, good old Jeff. Saved their marriage. And he battered them up by giving them free drinks at the start, which
That's
is
true.
probably what made them a bit more drunk and made them have these crazy experiences.
He gave her a necklace as well, didn't he?
Yeah. He also sells jewellery. Why does he also sell jewellery?
It's just a man
That
of
is
many
quite
trades.
strange.
He's just a mysterious man. Do you know what I mean? It's
He's very mysterious. I feel like he knows something we don't throughout this film. He's got something behind his eyes.
I think that leads on to the Tricycle Man, because he was
Yeah.
doing magic. He was doing loads of different things.
I think he goes on a journey of
Just figuring out who he
self-discovery
is and
after
what
this.
he is by trying absolutely everything. I mean, he's an eternal man. He's going to try everything at least once, right?
You would, right?
Yeah.
How far away is Nashville from Los Angeles?
I am so unbelievably ignorant to geography.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. Beth, while you find this out, Liam, could you give me your scores again?
I gave you 5, 4, and 6.5.
For True Boom Craft and enjoyability in that order?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just running these through the Kumblumta.
That's nothing.
That's nothing, is it?
That's nothing.
That's nothing.
The Kumblumta. Oh, it's only it's only 30 hours.
by driving.
That's easy. I mean, by the end of that, he must have got so comfortable living on the road, because by the end he was shaving in bus graveyards.
Oh, it's only
Yeah.
it's only a 760-hour walk.
If I had to make one change in this movie,
Aye.
there wasn't enough tension.
There wasn't enough, Jeff.
There was very little tension in this whole film.
Fuck you.
Sorry.
So the
Yeah,
way
you're
I
right,
would like
you're
to
right.
put in some tension is have another subplot in this movie of subplots, where there was a venomous snake let loose in the club.
A venomous snake.
Like, I
Why?
don't know, someone, there was like a...
You just want it to be snakes on a plane.
No, because this
You
is
want them to be
snake
on a
in a
plane.
club. One snake, singular, not
Snake.
snakes.
You want it to be snake in a club.
Bad name for a film, but that's not what I would want. But yeah,
I mean, the
I just
club is
think
called Zoo.
If there was like
Ah, what about
it's
two
called
snakes?
the zoo. If like they were saying, oh, we'll bring some dangerous animals down for like an exhibition thing, because some clubs do weird shit like that, don't they?
Yeah.
And then you could have one of the snakes escaping, and then you have a whole subplot of them trying to catch the snake. And I just think you bring in some good comedy in there, you know, some tension and some comedy.
Yeah. There needs to be both of those.
That's my change.
Is that a snake in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? Then the guy says, oh no, this is actually a very deadly python.
Talking
Please
of
run.
snakes, my change would be all the same. All the characters are the same.
Good change.
Same everything. Same events.
It's
But
inspired.
it's in Berghain in Berlin. So there's just naked German people having sex. Really softly and
You just
quietly and
want-
shuffly, like they are in the film. They're just... The sound design
200%
is
more
the
sex
same.
in this film.
Huh?
You want 200% more sex in this
200. Yeah.
There's not any sex in this film.
film. Exactly.
Exactly. I want sex.
So you just want to make this film hornier.
Yeah.
Film needs to be hornier. I think there should be more. And you use snake as a segue for that.
Yeah.
What are your
someone's
changes? You've said yours. You
So-
filth bag.
Yeah, Beth wants just like...
Do you want more changes?
No, not from you.
So, the change I would like from this film is I think the story of... So here's the thing. They made quite a big deal out of the fact that Donna Summer's in this film.
Yeah.
Her character should have been more interesting, I think.
Yeah, I can give you that.
Yeah, she was boring as fuck.
Yeah, like, extremely.
She was persistent. She had some chutzpah.
Consistently
Yeah.
boring.
Roast.
She had some moxie. What I would have enjoyed is bringing more of her, make her a bit more interesting, get me more of Floyd, because he was great. And that's it. Those are my changes. That's the film I'd rather.
Ooh.
The film
So boring.
The film I would rather have is the like real time stress of getting the equipment for a band as big as the Commodores
Yeah.
across that distance, you know?
Yeah, and I guess if I had to give like a character choice that would change things more, I want to know more about Marv Gomez.
Yes.
He could have his own spin-off.
Yeah, the Leatherman.
Yeah.
The Leatherman.
I've watched the fuck out of a Leatherman movie.
I'm hearing like you say the Leatherman and then like proper like western like down
Marv
down
Gomez, the Leatherman. Well, that's horrendous.
I find it when people say, when they condense like something man into like Leatherman,
Yeah.
I find that just fucking horrible. I don't know why. Something about
Why?
Leatherman.
a British person saying the word mun
Leatherman.
instead of man. That just makes my
So you'd
skin
rather
crawl.
say, well, this is my gentleman friend.
Gentleman.
Gentleman.
This is my uncle. He's a fireman. This is my uncle. He's a fireman.
Yes, fireman.
This is Marv Gomez.
You sound
the
immediately
Leatherman.
like a 4-year-old if you're like, this is a fireman.
Look at the
What are
fireman.
they actually called? Firefighters.
I mean, yes, they're called firefighters.
Food fighters. Firemen. The firemen.
Sorry, why did you say
Foodman.
food fighters?
You said food fighters.
Foodman.
Okay, so Beth is having a stroke, so we might need, I'll just move on to the next segment, which is whether you three can guess the
Holy-
tagline of this movie.
There's two of
Are
us.
we at that point already?
Well,
Wait, where's...
I'm here. I don't know where you guys are, but this is where I am. We could do more afterwards.
Where's Jake?
Where's Jake? Beth, are you alright?
I'm sorry.
We've lost her.
Right.
She's
It's
gone.
yeah, it's time for you to try and guess the tagline for this movie.
Okay.
Is Jake dead?
I'm going to give you... Sorry, okay. Who is Jake?
Everyone. I'm just trying to like mix things up a bit. I'm just trying to keep the listener awake.
Keep everyone at work.
Keep everyone guessing. Where's
They'll
Jake?
be like, right, I should go back and listen
The
to the other
hidden
ones
man.
for Jake.
This is poison.
Sorry. Continue. To be continued. Now.
Immediately.
Go.
I'm going to give you
Immediately.
3... Fuck's sake. I'm
Put
gonna...
it in the Simpsons movie, right?
okay, hold on, you
Where
know-
it's like, to be continued immediately.
But you know how like some films have like a late title card?
Yeah.
Can some films have an early credits and then it goes back to the film? So like that, it's like big cut in the film, like it's a big cliffhanger. It's like to be continued. half the credits play.
That happens in something.
Does it?
Yes.
Please find
That
it
happens.
for me.
What does that happen in, Liam?
I don't know.
Liam,
I've definitely seen something
What, with
where
the credits roll and then...
it ends, the credits roll, and then it goes back and it has more. It has like 20 minutes more, and
Incredible.
then the end credits.
I have no idea.
I will
sorry.
find out for next week.
Please do.
yeah,
Yeah.
please do.
I'd like to know which one that is. Finally,
Yeah,
I'm going to
please.
give you 3 fucking
Get to your
taglines.
fucking game.
I'm gonna
Get
give
to
you
your
3
bit.
taglines. One of them is real.
Okay.
2 of them have been made up by me about 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
The first one is, let's blow this joint into another space zone.
Space zone. Space zone.
Let's blow this joint into another space zone.
That makes no sense.
I get it. I drive
The
with it.
next one is a wild night at the zoo.
That
Yeah.
one. That one.
And then the last one is last dance, last chance for love.
It's that
Out
one,
of
right?
these 3,
I think it's the second one.
which is the tagline?
I think
for
it's
Thank
the
God It's
Last
Friday.
Dance one.
So we've got to get into Liam's head. We've got to think about
A
what...
place I never really want to be.
I mean, I don't want to be here either, mate.
I've been there for years. And then we've got to think about what he could come up with, and then what he would come up with to make us think that he wouldn't come up with it.
Because here's the thing. Let's blow this joint into a new space zone is so bad.
Sorry, into another space.
into
zone.
another space zone.
That has Liam written all over it.
It's so bad, but it's plausible to me. There's something about it.
So you can play mind games with us, because depending on the tagline and how good or bad it is, you can play with the good or badness of the other 2 ones.
Dude, you are giving me so much credit.
Have you done that thing where you take words from the script and craft taglines from those words?
We have to assume so.
I'm not telling you shit.
We have to assume so.
This is all on you, my dudes.
Can you please read them out again?
Here again, okay. So number 1, we have, let's blow this joint into another space zone.
It's not that one.
We then have a wild night at the zoo. And then we have last dance, last chance for love.
I think it's that because they make a point out of Donna Summer being an important role in the film. That's her song.
I'm gonna go for number 2.
You're going to go for...
Although she is on the the cover,
She
so that
is.
would make more sense. But I'm gonna go for number 2. I'm gonna stick with my guns.
You're going for a wild night at the zoo.
A Wild Night at the Zoo.
I can say that, Beth, you are wrong. It is not a wild night at the zoo. And Seb,
Yeah.
you are wrong.
Fuck off!
It is, let's blow this joint into another space
So you
zone.
did reverse mind games.
Is the actual fucking
Are you
tagline. I am
fucking-
2 for 0. You guys fucking suck at this.
Let's blow this joint into another space zone.
That's fucking
Hold
terrible.
on.
Space Zone does not exist.
Let's blow this joint into another space zone.
I had to keep looking back at it
Let's
when I was writing
blow
it down
this
because I was
joint.
like, I cannot get the wording of this wrong because it's so good.
What space zone are they currently in?
Beth, I can see you furiously typing. Are you coming
I
to
don't
fact
believe
check me?
you. I think I need a Mr. Google to confirm. Oh my god! Let's blow this joint into another space zone.
After 5,000 years of civilization, we all need a break.
Okay, let's just
shit.
let's just read.
Please dive into this wormhole.
Where's it gone?
That's it. It's right there.
Plot summary.
there.
After 5,000 years of civilization, we all need a break. Plot summary. Oh no, but this is the right one.
No, yeah, Beth, that's absolutely the right film and the right tagline.
Yeah, dude. I'm not fucking with you.
That's not right because they don't have. Wait,
Are you okay, Beth? Because I'm not about this.
I'm not okay. Oh, okay. I was thinking that maybe IMDb had got it wrong and they'd messed up and they'd put some sci-fi film.
Nah, dude.
5,000
Not
years
at all.
of civilization. We all need a break.
I mean, it makes absolutely no sense to the film that we've just watched.
Let's blow this joint into another space zone. After 5,000 years of civilization, we all
Seb,
need a break.
Where,
Jenny Villeneuve.
Where does this film... Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah. It's like he's doing the new Dune.
Shut up. Where does this film come in our table?
Table.
Potentially higher than you think.
I would watch this again over some of the other garbage we've seen.
Yeah. I'd watch it over Death Wish 3.
I mean, that was
You
your...
never needed to watch Death Wish 3.
I would still watch it. over
Want to
Death
point
Wish
that
3.
That was on you.
This is currently 4th.
4th out of 9.
Yes.
That's not surprising.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's fine actually.
Wait, what's above it?
So, from upwards,
Yeah.
from this,
Yeah.
this is at 4. We then have Next Stop Greenwich Village. No, we then have Annie Hall, Next Stop Greenwich Village, and Village, and Between the Lines currently still at the top.
What was Between the Lines again?
Someone got
That's
it
the one
last
we
time.
watched
Oh,
last
yeah.
time with
Oh,
the
yeah.
main line.
Yeah.
The boss on the main line.
Boss on the main line. That makes no sense to anyone other than us.
Is that it? We done? Anyone got anything else?
I feel like we recorded for about 4 minutes.
Nah, dude, we're coming up to 40.
I think this is great. I think this is really good.
If anyone, for any reason whatsoever, wants to get in contact with us, we have an email for foreverinblum@gmail.com. We have a Twitter @foreverinbloom, and we will, I assume, at some point have a website under the domain we bought, foreverinbloom.com.
Yeah, we own it, so we should use it. Which I
done
believe
nothing
is
with it.
just capitalism's catchphrase,
Buy
right?
our merch. We're going to start selling loads of unnecessary plastic
Don't think that's
items,
gonna-
which you can
I don't-
purchase and then put straight into landfill.
I don't think that's going to happen.
www.
Fuck the planet.
Bloom forever. fuck the planet. Fuck the universe. Fuck the dolphins.com.
So moving on from that, I do really want to say, I'm just going to take it aside. You two can leave if you want. Hey, Jeff. I'm really enjoying this journey I'm on right now. I hope you're having a really good time. I know you were going through some hard time for a while.
I mean, maybe don't insinuate that he was doing these things.
No, but
Carry on.
he
This is what I don't want us to be known for.
I was doing
is-
an aside. You two are here in the
We
fiction.
don't want to be those 3 dickheads.
So,
that-
did you just step outside the bit and
Yeah.
stop calling Jeff a rapist?
I'm
Yeah,
not.
he's not
No,
a rapist.
that's not what this
to
is.
our
not what-
knowledge, Jeff is not a rapist.
I didn't need that caveat either.
I'm not. That's not what I'm implying. This is not slander.
We're going to get some fucking investigations.
We're
or
not.
something.
We are the investigation.
Yeah.
I don't want to be.
I
the
am-
We're
investigation.
not investigating that. I need to point this out. This is going off the rails. Jeff, we love you. We're doing this because we love you.
Jeff, Jeff.
I've lost sleep over that.
I wanted to say thank you for the great work you've put in over the years, and I know you had to endure playing some really pretty dry roles back in the early days, but thank you for sticking it out, man. Jeff, I'd love to chat to you one day. We all would.
Come explain yourself, buddy.
I'd love.
Yeah, come justify why you abused all those women.
Beth. Okay. I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna close this out.
Cutting it all out.
Everything stays in. Jeff, we love you.
Thanks for listening. Next week we're doing.
It's not next week. It's bi-weekly.
Doesn't
bud.
I don't give a shit. Next time you join us, whatever timeline you're listening to this on, we'll be watching Remember My Name.
Oh yeah, that is the next one. Right?
That is the next film.
Bit of a rowdy one this time, huh? I think it's because I'm on the floor.
Beth splits, Liam's on the
I'm
floor.
never normally on the floor.
I
I quite like being on the floor. I think this might be my spot from now on.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a hat. Everything's fucking wild.
You need a hat. You need to be on the floor.
I'm
What do
into
I
this.
need? I need something.
You need to just bring that gold that you would do every week, Beth.
Yeah, Beth, you just bring your own beautiful self.
And what you need to do is stop calling Jeff a rapist.
Yes, please.
I never even called him a rapist.
But you keep bringing it out.
You've
That's
you've
enough.
said it. You've said
It's
it
now
more.
becoming a thing, and I don't want it to become a thing.
The good thing is he didn't rape in this film.
That's
so well
true.
done, Jeff. Well done for not raping
Cool.
in one
So
film.
all
thank
he
you very
did-
much for
he
listening.
tried to
I'm gonna
cuck
try
someone.
completely ignore this. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast, everybody. And we'll be back next time.
We'll be back at
some
a
point
time.
with
We'll be
Remember
back
My
at a
Name.
point in time.
One fortnight
Goodbye.
on the 3rd moon.
Remember my name. Next time.
Fuck this.